Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the C-List Villains, your cultivators of the comic culture. I'm your host, AJ. We've got a full house tonight. We've got Red, we've got Luke, we got E-Man, and we've got a very special guest in the house, Nelson Chua, owner of Big Time Collectibles. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening.
Good evening, dude. It's good to see you back, bro. I'm glad that you're in the house again, man.
I don't know about very special guest. I would say guest.
You're
Okay.
very,
No, you're a very special
you're
guest.
very
Come
special, Nelson. We love you, dudes. We love you.
I'm glad to be here and part of this conversation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's just dive right into it, right? I mean, we all know C2E2, the debacle.
Whoa. No foreplay. No, how's everyone's week going? How's the
No,
weekend?
no. We've got a lot to unpack on this thing, man.
He's just blow and go today. Look at that.
A lot to unpack.
All right. Let's do this because this was crazy. That's all you see on your Instagram feeds this weekend was what happened over there at C2E2.
And, you know, I did watch a couple YouTube videos. A lot of people giving their input on that. But we're fortunate enough to actually get a retailer to give their little insight on it. And I watched all the not all of them, but I tried to find all the YouTube videos, and I did not find one YouTube video that was able to get a retailer on to give their thoughts on the show or on the debacle. Were you gonna say something?
Well, like the owner of Black Flag actually went on Instagram and he gave his whole spiel about the situation. So there is a retailer out there to talk about the situation, but it's actually the one that we're talking about tonight. So
yeah, he's giving his. He doesn't count.
But yeah, a buddy of mine, Chip Getler, who he was actually in line. He actually got a couple of them. He saw the whole thing, and he's got a video on YouTube where he tells it from his point of view of what happened. He was there, so it's really crazy how this all unfolded, and then to hear everyone else talk about it. But we're gonna unpack it definitely for sure.
Okay. And Luke, our orator here, is going to give us the whole story, and then we're going to comment on it and give our thoughts and opinions on this whole thing. So, Luke, you got the floor.
You want me to narrate two-part? Well, it really didn't start this year. It started a while back. They did the facsimile with Crane, the Virgin. Whether they sold out or reprinted another bundle seems a little unclear. That part only they know. But they came to the con with all of these reprints. They stapled on acetate cover with an American flag. And apparently, Jason at Black Flag had already sold the majority of the stock to retailers. I don't even know if we should say influence. There were a couple influencers who are also retailers, but these are just shops, flippers, speckers, whatever. But the majority was already pre-sold. And so that is, there were 40 people lined up. They did not all get a copy. But what really bugged the community was watching the retailers pick up their orders at the table.
Not just that too, Luke. It was people were trying to pick up their books there, but then also the price. Did you hear about the pricing too?
Yeah,
they did raise the price after they were all picked up. Whether that was pre-planned or if he made a call there, he did like you said, he did an IG response to it. Completely wrong move. He was just shooting himself in the foot like, with every statement. He was just like, I'm here to make money. Like, I get it. We're all fucking here to make money.
No, you guys are. I'd be there to spend money. I don't know how to make the money off this stuff.
Like, no one can live without money. We get it. Yeah. You don't have to shove it down your customers' throats.
Which is one thing I didn't like about that response was that it didn't feel genuine. It didn't feel like it was aimed at at the people who were trying to purchase it, right? It was aimed at him defending himself for his own decisions, right? It was very self-serving, his response, which is what left a bad taste in my mouth.
I wouldn't say self-serving, but he got defensive. I think everyone involved got defensive. Even
yes, and you don't
CGC,
get defensive in that thing. That's how you blow. That's why it blew up. If you just been like, dude, it's my bad. Mistakes were made. It was the heat of the moment. But love you guys. We'll do better next time.
Exactly. That's the type of response that I would expect from a retailer. You know, you messed up. Say something. You know, yes, yeah, okay. He apologized. Let's go. I'll move away from this. But the reason why it's lingering. One of the reasons why it's lingering is because of his response, is because of him saying, I'm here to make money, fool. And it's the reason why we have our friend Nelson here to chime in on this situation here.
Nelson, why don't you, as a retailer, why don't you give us your opinion on everything that happened at C2E2 with the crane acetate covers?
Okay. Well, first, the issue about the about when he said he needs to make his money because he spent a whole lot of money to bring artists in and all that, traveling, all the expenses and stuff. I get that. And as a retailer, if I could sell my books ahead of time, and pretty sure I'd be able to get my money and more, I would do it. I would do it as well. I would pre-sell it if I can. Because you don't know what could happen. I mean, you can end up stuck with that convention exclusive that nobody bought. The bad thing about it is the way they went about it. I mean, if I sold E-Man said, Nelson, can I get like 125 copies? And I would tell E-Man, you know what? We're buddies, and that's money already. I ain't gonna give you a discount. Pay for that one, but don't show it to anybody.
Yeah, don't show it.
Yeah.
It's bad. And if I have a whole box for you, that box will be sealed. Nobody will be able to see that, and we'll just say here and give you the money. That I would understand truly if that's what happened. But slapping customers in the face that are on the line, seeing you handing out to influencers and stuff that you're letting them have it and cut the lines. They wouldn't understand that. It will look bad on you, regardless if you give a shit or not about your customer. That you would look bad. And then the influencers, I've been seeing a lot of hate about influencers and flippers and all that. That was ahead of the pack. That was able to. It ain't their fault, They invested money. If let's say I hear one guy or one girl bought 100 copies, multiply that by how much was it? $75 each?
85
or 85.
85. She's investing
$8,500.
If that thing don't sell, it will blew on her or his face.
Now here's my question about that though, Nelson. This is my issue with something like that. Okay, it was promoted that there was 750 copies of this book. They're gonna sell it at C2E2. Everyone come to my table. Well, we have this many. Okay, cool. You have people, 40, 50 people in line. They're like, okay, 750. I should probably be able to get one. No problem. It gives people like, hey, look, I should be able to get it. If you're going to pre-sell it, like you said, if you're going to say, hey, influencers, if you want in on this is how much I'll give it to you at. Okay, cool. Pre-sell it. That's cool. Wouldn't it be wouldn't it be smarter, and maybe not using the correct word for it, but wouldn't it be better if they say something along the lines of, hey, I have 100 copies to sell at C2E2 instead of 750? Wouldn't that make more sense?
Yeah, that would make more sense. I mean, like I said, I agree with pre-selling it, but if you know darn well that the book is going to be hot, you got to leave some for people, especially if you said 40 people online and not all 40 people were able to get them. Well, yeah there's something wrong with that one. I would, if I was doing it, and I already know I broke even with the amount of books that I already pre-sold, I will put a limit to it, knowing how hot the book is. If I have like 250 left out of the 700, out of the 750, because I pre-sold, let's say 500 copies already. 250, I would limit it to 2 per person at the most. That way, people still know that they have a chance. Because you messed everybody up, you know. And by the way, majority of the people that's really mad about it are the people that want to flip it so bad.
Oh yeah, the flippers.
Because if you're really a collector, and let's say you know it ran out. If you are a real collector and you really want it that bad, you'll actually buy it to the flipper. Buy it at a flipper. You really want it that bad, you know.
Yeah.
But that's all. That's all I think. That's what I think about it, because I've watched a bunch of the videos already.
Mm-hmm.
The mad people are the ones that are known flippers. You know.
Yeah,
I mean, and
dealers, yeah.
by the way, guys, flippers are not. You know, I don't look at them bad. I love flippers, by the way. But
Oh no, you have to have the hobby fund itself. I mean, no one can afford comics anymore without you know, it's moving some product.
See, but then there's also people genuine enough to be like, look, I just want a couple of, you know, 1 or 2 for myself. I really do want it for the PC. It almost seems like, and this is where I feel bad for some of the people, because I feel like I'm in this category, but you know, there's people out there that just want 1 or 2 for their collection. And a lot of them, if they flip, they're not going to flip it right away to try to make that buck. They're probably going to sit on it for a while, and later on, if they're going to sell it, okay, they're gonna sell it. But they're not, you know. I'm part of the collecting crowd where I'll get 1 or 2 right there, and I will sit on those books, not try to flip it right away. I personally don't think of myself as a flipper, so like being viewed as something like that when a situation comes up like this, it makes me feel a little uneasy. You know, because I'm not in that category yet. It's those people that are looked at, and then there's the influencers who do it like on a much bigger scale. You know, and you know, there's people who out there who are like, I genuinely want this cover. I just want it. You know, for whatever reason. You know, we'll get into that later on, but there's fans out there that genuinely want the cover, and it sucks for them because now shit, I didn't get my 1 copy. And I'll have to go online and get it for $300-400 when I can just spend $900 to get the OG copy graded 9.8. You know, it makes people, you know, it makes actual collectors think about what's happening and how these influencers and retailers are handling the business and the hobby that they love.
You know, or just wait a few months. It'll go down.
It'll go down. Yeah. Now, as a retailer, and okay, full disclosure, we don't exactly know what happened, but you know, there's been talks that what they did is they had backstock of their cover from last year, and they added the acetate, and because there was 4 staples on that book.
Correct.
Now, what are your thoughts on that?
That's crazy. 4 staples.
Yeah, what happened is it's the ultimate Fallout facsimile. They did an exclusive with Clayton Crane. The first cover is a trade dress, and the second cover is the Virgin variant. Obviously, the Virgin variant sold out, and since they have 3,000 copies of the trade dress, they got shitload of them, you know. And they are, you know, I gotta give them credit, being very creative on recycling comic book by creating an acetate cover to put at the back and marry it in that comic book.
Packaging the book, making it like a brand new exclusive.
Staple it in there. But when and obviously everybody, I would at least say 90% of the people that knows Crane comic book, Crane exclusive, they know damn well that is the same darn book when they saw it. It just have an acetate cover on top of it, right. And the 4 staples, you know, in there, it's just the proof that it is the same darn book. And even there's also one Whatnot show where when we ask, or one of my guys, because I don't want to be, you know, one of my guys asked, "Hey, can you show us the what I call it, the barcode at the back?" That's when we all figure out, oh darn, this is the same damn book.
Oh, okay.
So like there's some people in the chat that said that's not
Oh.
creative. That's not being creative to sell the book. What that is that they're finding a different way to sell the back stock, to sell the leftover stuff, instead of, okay, yeah, as a retailer you're trying to get your money back. You're going to try to do it one way or another. Black Flag went ahead and said, "Hey, you know what? We're going to staple this on. We're going to do this. This is the new cover right here." When it gets advertised as a new exclusive, this is a brand new book. That's when it's like, wait a minute, this isn't, like you said. Oh snap! This is the
But
facsimile.
they say it's a brand new book.
I thought they branded it as revisioned book or something like that.
Yeah, they never denied the fact that it was
Yeah.
it
But here,
was
I think the non-denial of it is after the fact that they sold out. I don't recall
Yeah.
if you mentioned that it's not.
That's a good point.
It's at first it was nobody's saying about, oh, it's a revision facsimile edition back in 2020. Because if you started as a seller, if you started it like that, people go like, I'm not gonna fucking buy that book. You just did something to it, so it will look new. But now that it's sold out, hey, it's just a revision book that we added an acetate cover, which I mean, gotta give them credit. I mean, it's for me. I think that was very creative.
Creative, and also they made money off of it since they already made money on the first run of selling the first facsimile, and then the added value of the acetate, which caused them to spend more money, but they made their money back on the resale end of the rest of that stock.
That's true.
yeah.
But is that
You can't be mad at the guy for trying to be smart about what am I going to do with these books and having a discount and then resell them that way, or make the change to the book and make it look like not like make it look like it's a brand new book, but at least give it a different enough look that people will buy it because it's a brand new exclusive to them, even though they've seen that book about last December.
And plus, that's a Clayton Crane book. I mean, Clayton Crane's following is just crazy. A lot.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
There's a lot of people that wanted Clayton Crane, regardless if it's something that's been reproduced or you married an acetate cover on top of it. I can guarantee you people will buy it. Like, and Rob Liefeld is a great artist. He's a great artist. He's a legend. But I can tell you right now, if I do an exclusive with Rob Liefeld and I do an acetate cover, would I sell out of 750 copies, you think?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
He's a wanted artist that people will buy his stuff.
You don't think he will?
I don't know if I'll be able to sell 750 copies, unlike if I use a Clayton Crane, an existing Clayton Crane cover, and put a cool, revision.
I see what you're saying.
It's just different. It's just different when Clayton. It's not going to happen. It's not going to sell out if it's other stores doing different artists. It just doesn't work that way. It has to be specific. Clayton Crane, if I had the chance, and here's the thing too, if I was there at C2E2 and I was able to talk to Jason, I asked Jason, and I buy 200 copies, I can guarantee you, he said yes, I would be there buying 200 copies myself just to resell it, because I know darn well that would sell. See, that's what happened there. That's what the what do you call it, the flippers, or what do they call them again?
Influencers, comic book influencers.
Yeah, influencer. They knew what it was. They know they could flip it, and great for them that they'll be able to flip it. But they gotta flip it fast because it's really not going to last that long.
No.
No.
No, especially for a facsimile like that. All you did was added value to it. But these facsimiles have gone more than the actual high grade raw book of the original run. It's kind of baffles me that it's people are spending that much what they can spend it on the same actual first run copy.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's Clayton Crane. That's the big difference right there.
Yeah, and he's been building out the same art, different color palette, same pose and different character for the last 3 years. There hasn't been anything original that he's done except his own book, which is the Monica. But people will still buy that up because it's Clayton Crane. It's like buying a Picasso or Andy Warhol.
Oh, by the way, you know what does what doesn't sit well for me is when I hear when their inventory when their inventory went low, they switched the price and raised it to like $100.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, you actually look bad already by having people see your bulk orders going out in front of their faces, skipping the line. Now you slap them the second time around by raising the price. How much money do you want to fucking get? If you did $15 more to a book that is already priced at $85, I mean, how much money will make you happy?
Oh, he pulled the same shit on the slabs because he had a $500 9/8 slab, and then because one of his handlers was already giving one of the buyers a quote at $500 for a 9/8, but then he comes back, it's like, no, you're selling that slab for $750. He added another $250 markup on that book.
But he honored the 500 though, from what I saw on YouTube. The guy who bought it.
He honored it, but from then on, it's another $250 on top of that price for whatever stock he had left.
For me, that's the only issue. But the acetate, I think it was really creative. The way they handled the influencers being seen carrying loads while the 40 people don't get all their books. That one looks bad on them. They could have done better than that. And I believe this, that when they go to Boston and I hear they're gonna do some more shit like that, that it will be different. That there will be more.
It has to be, yeah.
There will be more books per customer, because if they don't learn from this, people are gonna hate on them even more.
Yeah.
Well, what happened to Scorpion Comics? Does anybody know what happened to them? They were like the kings of it, and now they don't have anything. They're gone.
I forgot about them.
They split. One is doing Spectral Comics, and the other one is doing Carnivore Comics.
Yeah.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Plus, they were more known for their Delato covers, right? And maybe they just didn't get whatever deal they had with them. They just couldn't get them to do more covers. Who knows, right?
Yeah, they. I know. I mean, I know exactly what happened, but it's for them to say what really happened.
Oh, okay. Nelson, let me ask you a question. Now I know that, like, as a retailer and you see what's happened, would it be a better idea maybe for future retailers as a learning lesson that possibly if an influencer wants 200 copies, maybe let them know, hey, listen, let's go and sell off like whoever's in line right now, and then whatever we have at the end of the day, we'll sell you the rest. Would that be a little bit more fair? Or
no,
is that
it is fair, but I think it's risky for retailers to do that. Because here's the thing: if it doesn't sell out and you end up with a lot, the influencer will say, "Well, I don't think I'm gonna get that many now, because right now I don't think it's selling much." And plus, the influencer need to get it first, because they have to go to their respective selling platform and start flashing it. I got this book, and in order for it to sell at the price they wanted to, because they buy it at 85, they don't want to sell it at 9. They don't want to sell it at 110. They want to sell it as high as they can.
right?
they need to be the first one to get them. It has to sell out in order for them to push it on their selling platform. That hey, it's sold out. It's sold out in this much time. So that's how they do it. So that they can get their money. They're not fools. They gotta have their money, and that's the way to do it. Is to get them first, be the first ones to get them. They take the chance in spending the money, and at the retailer's point of view, I'll be able to sell whatever I have.
So,
But
so going into this question right here from James, let's ask this: who are these retailers really selling the books to? Whoever can buy every single one of them, or anyone with a ticket? Like what's the? I mean, the main objective, of course, is to sell out. I get it. You definitely want to be able to do that. But who are the retailers really trying to sell to?
to everyone, customers, the regular customers that paid tickets, and two, for them to sell out, they need this. They need the flippers. They need the influencers that will sell them at less at whatnot or eBay or something like that. They need them. They need them all to be able to be successful. Not one retailer. I mean, I'm telling you guys this because I'm pretty honest about it. Every retailer need those. We need influencers. We need people that will buy a lot in order for us to be able to sell. However, the way of doing it has to be different. If I was, I think they got too excited. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I think they got so excited that they didn't realize that they don't have a whole lot left because they all agreed. Okay, you can have this much. You can have this. Okay, okay, okay. You're thinking about cha-ching, and then you just realize, shit, I don't have much left.
No one kept stock.
Yep. Yeah, that's what happened. That's what I think what happened there. So what they need to do on the next round is, all right, guys, we're gonna allot this much for customers and this much for the bulk orders.
Exactly.
That way, everybody's happy and everybody's can make a little bit of money left and right. And guess what? The retailer will have the most money, and which is what they want to do.
Yeah, yeah. Of course.
Which kind of goes back to the whole allocating it correctly, like you said, letting people know, okay, instead of saying 750, because I think that's what really got everyone. There was 50 people in line, and they're saying, oh, there's 750 books. I have a chance to get this. Number 50 was sweating. They're like, wait a minute, I thought you said 750. I'm number 50, and I might not get a book. So of course it's gonna piss people off. It's just it was the whole thing is just how Black Flag handled the situation.
Yep. Yep.
And that's what really set people off.
And I truly believe their second round at Boston, because they're gonna do this again with different covers. I heard about it, but I can guarantee you it'll be handled well, and there will be enough copies for everyone, because they already got this planned out. They said, "Shit, we blew up 750 copies in freaking 5 minutes, and this influencers bought almost all of it. God damn, I'm gonna do 1,500." That's what's gonna happen for sure.
Right,
Yeah, I know you won't see the resale market money after that, because these resellers are selling it for roughly 3 times or 4 times the amount that they bought it for.
It peaked at 4. I think it's gone for 2 to 3 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you better get your profit at the sell point. Then no matter who buys it, and then if you do sell out, yeah, too bad the guys in line didn't get any. But I made my profit, so now it's their problem to go find the flipper now to go buy from them if they really want the book. But if they want it at the same price point, then try to make a deal.
So for you, Nelson, is this a teaching lesson for you as a retailer, or is this one of those things where I kind of already knew this, like this was handled incorrectly?
No, this was handled incorrectly. But it's you are correct. It's learning, because it could have happened to me if I had that idea and I was there and I knew I spent a whole lot of money. That the same thing may have happened to me on the first round. That first thing, because I'm like, shit, I'm gonna get my money back and more. Yes, yes, get it, get everything, buy everything. So because I knew I got so much money in there, but knowing what I know now, and I can guarantee you, Jason, a Black Flag, if he can make a redo out of this, he will allocate it right, where everyone will be happy, and everyone will be praising praising and waving the black flag. I can guarantee you that.
Yes, that
But
was a genius move. Just putting the acetate on the cover, and then having to resell old stock.
yeah,
Now
the
going
process.
into that,
I mean, the process of how they sold it. Yeah.
well, going into that though too. Now let's go ahead and talk about the actual book itself, right? They placed a plastic cover on the facsimile, right? And we did mention this earlier, but this doesn't sound like it was a sanctioned book from Marvel. It doesn't sound like Marvel gave the okay to do something like this. Now, since Black Flag already owned all of these copies, is this a legitimate sale? I guess is the best way I can pretty much present it. Is this legitimate? Is this okay by Marvel? Will there be some sort of cease and desist? Will there be a lawsuit?
Nope. There is not going to be any lawsuit. There is not going to be any cease and desist order on this. Uh, as far as I know, when I look at the book, they never drew any Marvel characters. All they did was put a flag. The flag is not copyrighted anywhere. The back of the book, it has just had Clayton Crane's signature, Black Flag logo, and "In God We in Trust" at the back.
That's bad
Oh,
grammar.
Which Red pointed out earlier today. He was like, "This is a grammatical error on this one." Red's our grammar Nazi, so he's gonna notice everything.
Well, it should be true since he was a former English teacher, but me, I went through ESL, so the language of English really beat into my head when I came here from the islands.
so
Okay, so I'm the grammar Nazi.
and here's the thing for me, the way I look at it as well is, number one, that's it. They didn't do any marble cap. All they did was staple the that acetate there. So, and then they made this much money. I did all the math and stuff, and you know what I thought? I thought, man, why didn't I thought of this? But now I know. But now I know. So would I do it? Hell the fucking yeah, I would do it. When?
Everyone's gonna do it.
Who knows? But I'll definitely do it.
Everyone's gonna do it. There's gonna be so many next month.
Well, let me. I know we were gonna talk about the influencer side, but since we are already talking about that staple, CGC, as we all know, some of them were sold at the convention blue label. Should that not be should that be a green label though? Because
Nope.
they did modify it, right?
It's a blue label. It should be a blue label. Number one, we all need to understand that, of course, CGC is the number one grading company. They are they know what they're doing. When it's the same thing as a metal cover. Okay, metal covers are done outside the publishing company, and then when you send it to CGC, they knew that it's not something that's been done by the publisher. It's done on a third party company. So as long as it's done by a third party company, I don't see any reason why it has to be a green label. Unless it's like, because I remember there was a double cover issues going on where people are trying to staple the same cover and then send it to CGC. They know that kind of stuff. They can figure that one out. But this one is clearly another manufacturer did it for Black Flag. Black Flag. It does say Black Flag Publishing, but it is another company that did it for them. So it's supposed to get a blue label, and there's also a reason. I mean, CGC did not make a mistake. I can guarantee you guys right now, it's not a mistake. It's blue label for sure. It got to be a blue label because when I do mine, it better come out blue label.
So because a different company went ahead and put the staples on there and not Black Flag and is submitted to CGC for grading, CGC can overlook that and still provide a blue label? Or are we looking at this like this is CGC's rules, they're going to do whatever the shit they want?
No, there's specific rule on that one, man.
But
I know something, and I know loopholes which I swear not to talk about, but just I can guarantee you guys, they did not make a mistake on this one. I know exactly what happened. I just couldn't discuss it because I swear to the people that I spoke to that
Okay.
if somebody explain it'll be the grading company, but it is legit supposed to be blue label, and that's one of the reasons is they're not the actual people that staple it themselves. It's not them. It's a company. The same thing when another company does the metal thing, and glue that metal on top of the cover. Because that one alone, that's supposed to be. If you guys really think about it, those metals supposed to be green label, not blue label.
Because they're doing the same thing, is what you're saying.
It's the same thing. Yeah, it's just the same thing, but just adding staples and not glue.
What if the actual publisher is the one that does it? For example, Aftershock, they do have metal covers of We Live. They're the ones that actually have those, metal on there. That shouldn't be green. That should be blue label because it's the publisher that actually does it, right? So then that should go through, or unless like they, the retailers get an okay, because I know Trinity and other shops who have metal covers for certain books, like I'm pretty sure they get the okay to do that. So when people get those graded, okay, yeah, it'll get blue labeled. I think the perception here is that it seemed almost as if Black Flag were the ones that put the 4 staples on and submitted to CGC, and then CGC still giving them the blue label. And I think that's where a lot of the confusion is, because a lot of people are like, well, shit, if you could just slap an acetate plastic cover on top of a book and then submit it to CGC, well, shit, they'll give you a blue label no matter what. Well, so I guess that's the confusion.
It was Crane who made the submission, not Black Flag. That's why it was expedited faster.
It was Crane that did it. Wait, hold on. Is that inside information there, Red? Hold on. Are you getting people in trouble?
Red, I don't know where you get that, but I wasn't gonna say that. No, that's the one that I don't want to say. It was Clayton Crane that submitted it. That's why that was the biggest loophole.
Red's got some insider.
Yeah, where did you get this? Where did you get this information from? Why don't you participate like this in previous shows, damn it, and give us inside information like this?
I did my homework, guys. I did my homework.
Hey, that's what's throwing me off. Like you actually did homework this time, Red.
Plus, it's all over the Crane page. It's all over the whatever posted there's on IG. It's people are making assumptions, and that would have been the correct assumption is because CGC is all backed up with orders with slabbing. But the only way you can get anything like expedited is have the actual artists.
Wow.
And there you go. You guys
that's what it was. And that's the loophole.
Hey, and Crane didn't show up for the show.
Oh, he has a whole different other issue going on there. It wasn't because of
but I'm just saying he didn't show up. Yeah. He totally dodged the bullet.
Crane's like, on you. Do you, boo-boo. Do you. Oh, wow. Okay, look.
But he certainly made the money.
Yeah. Oh, he still made
It was
the money.
Agatha all along.
It was Agatha all along. Bastard.
All right. Well, since we've settled that part, I want to go back to the influencers, the comic flippers. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I flip. I've never bought 75 copies of a book. But I've gone I'll go to conventions and I buy multiple copies, as many as I can, and I resell it because you have, like Luke said earlier, you've got to fund the hobby.
Yep.
And conventions are not, and I'm not trying to cry wolf and say, but if you want to try to at least break even going to conventions, you want to at least flip. Um, and I'm not hating on the flippers who bought 75 copies or 125 copies. I get it. It is unfortunate. In all honesty, I don't think there is a bad guy in this whole situation. I just think it was handled a little,
Loosey goosey.
yeah. I
he
mean,
he chose poorly.
look, I get it. I get people are upset that certain, whatnot sellers are buying 75 copies. Would it bother me? We'll put it this way. San Diego Comic-Con. Now, this past San Diego Comic-Con, Image had a blank gold foil embossed Spawn #1. Right? Now, I saw the line for that, and I wasn't gonna stick in line and try to get just because I had other things to go and do. But now I saw influencers posting that morning before the show even started to DM them for copies, and I'm like, now that's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
I'm like,
seriously.
come on now, be smart about that. If you're gonna get the hookup like that, at least post after like the show or in the middle of the show to make it look like you waited in line with everyone, not that you got the hookup like that.
See, my personal issue though with some of the influencers were some of the responses. Like and I'll even name him because he has a video out. But Jim Mint pretty much said that, hey, look, I was in line. I was like 10th in line. I got my books. And then he said that if you have a problem with someone cutting in line, why don't you say something? But my issue with that statement is that he knew the people who were cutting in line. So it's like it seemed like a double-edged sword with that. So I felt like Jim Mint's response to this whole situation was pretty much, look, I got mine. Y'all got screwed. Sorry. I gotta make my dough, and with his attitude coming off like that, it just felt it felt like he was after his own.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. Like, a lot of these, and Nelson, you're a businessman. One thing that I've learned, you can't go with emotion. If you're gonna make business deals like this, you gotta let it sit and then answer. But when you're reacting off of emotion, that's when you're gonna say things wrong. And
Yeah.
I think if all of them just waited a day or two and they're not so heated and emotional about being defensive, their answers would have been a lot more, understanding for a lot of people who are following them. You know what I mean?
People are the comic community. I would say we are forgiving people. The first thing you need to do is accept and say, yeah, we fucked up. This is the first time we do it. We got so excited. It is known in the industry that there are flippers, that there are people that buy bulk at the back. We made a mistake and was allocated most of it for the wholesale because we really wanted to make sure that we sell out. It is incorrect, but we do apologize. It will not happen again. On the next one, when we go to Boston, it will be allocated correctly, and everybody will be able to get their chance on it. That should they should have made it like that. I can guarantee you they will be forgiven.
Right. Yeah.
But it seems
And
like take the money. Oh, what? So I'm sorry, we got to make the money, motherfucker.
Boy from the ghetto.
and I would say on the flipper side, I mean, let's just call it out. Nerdy Girl Comics. Now she did state that I think she said only 12 copies were meant for her. The rest were for friends that she had agreed to do pickups on. I get that, but for me personally, I don't do. I 99.999%. I don't do. That's why I don't do pickups from people. Like if you want something, and if I'm able to get it, then I'll get it, and I'll be like, hey, I'm in line right now. Do you want it? This is how much it's going to cost you. Like I normally don't do any pickups for anyone.
You've done that in the past, but I also see the stress that it causes and how much fun it isn't for someone to do something like that. But which, by the way, thank you very much for doing that for me in the past. But yeah, I get it though. Like, yeah, don't.
And that's
don't,
why I say I don't do pickups
Yeah.
for 99.999% of people.
Unless you pay him.
Unless what?
Unless you grease the wheels.
Well, not even that. Like if it's you guys, I've never charged you guys.
I mean, it's not expected, but at the same time, you definitely want to take care of your friends. That's for sure. You know, your friends come first. But man, like if you're big time, if you're dropping 16K, you know, and then telling everyone else in line like, hey, sorry, they sold out. You know, I guess it's just the whole thing on fairness, right? It's just not fair for the people.
Yeah, don't rub it in. Don't rub it. I mean, don't let. I mean, like I said earlier, it was the manner of how they do it, and the error in allocating. I think that's all it was. If it was allocated correctly, this wouldn't have been a big issue. Right? The biggest issue, to be honest, was is this something that would get them in trouble with Marvel for doing? That was supposedly the biggest concern here, which they're not going to get in trouble. They actually, going to get scot-free on this one. But with it's just mismanagement of allocation is what happened here, and all they got to do is just say, yeah, we did made a mistake, and this ain't gonna happen again. And I guarantee you, people are gonna be lining up again in Boston, getting the next batch.
See, someone said it earlier about like one of the responses that it was tone deaf, and that's how it felt like from both Gem and from Black Flag. Like it was definitely tone deaf. Like
yeah, I mean, and like I said, it was an emotional answer. They should have waited a day or two, clear their mind, and then do a more responsible. I don't even want to say responsible, but something a little more. A more responsible response to all the negativity that they were getting. And also, I mean, like let's be real. There are a lot of these deals that go on, and Black. I don't know how new they are, but I would think that Black Flag and like even Nerdy Girl, they're fairly new to this type of thing, and you should always kind of keep it hush hush. Like if I get like multiple copies of something, and I know that I wasn't supposed to get this many, I'm not going to tell people. I might post one or two, and then pretend like those are the only two. And if 10 people are hitting me up, then I'm like, oh yeah, I got you a copy. Not that I would do that, but I mean, I'm just saying that's the way to do it.
Oh, that's the secret. Okay, all right. Let me put that in my notes real fast. Hold on.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna have multiple copies, you don't want to slap everyone's face and say I have 20 copies of this book or whatnot, right? You want to just maybe post 2 or 3, and then whoever hits you up, make them feel like they got that. They were one of the 2 or 3.
Unless it's hashtag multiple copy Monday, in which AJ goes ahead and drops like 5 copies, but I'm pretty sure he's got 27 in the background somehow, some way, because he's trying to be an influencer himself. I see your plan now. I get it.
Listen, I'm playing chess, not checkers here, all right?
Oh, this man right here. That was good. Actually. That was real good.
You got to be humble with what you got, right? So that everyone, still wants to support you.
He's playing chess, not checkers. This is why he leads this group. This is why we've missed him over these last couple of weeks, man. This is why.
I mean, let's grade the whole debacle.
We're gonna grade the debacle. 10.
Let's fuck up.
I'll 10.
I'll give it a 10.
I'll $2,500. 10 gem mint for the debacle.
Sure.
He said, "Let's grade the debacle."
That's what we do. We grade things here. I'm giving it a 10.
I'm giving it a 10 too.
You know what? Well, before we do that, Luke, you've been a little quiet. What's your opinion on this whole thing?
Oh, it's been crazy. I'm excited. You know what though? Every August, we all complain about exclusives. I found out past 5 years, every August. I don't know what it is.
It's fine. 6 is fine. Oh my god.
Yeah, I hope they don't become Scorpion. That would suck.
If they've got Black Flag or if they've got Clayton Crane for the long term, then they'll be fine.
Yeah, they'll be okay. They got Clayton Crane. I mean,
Look, heavy restoration. House of Ellen. CGC 10 is bullshit.
Dude, Clayton Crane. Hey, Clayton Crane owes me my blank that I gave him in 2019.
He's completely forgotten about that.
You've already paid for the sketch and everything?
Yeah, I gave him some cash and a blank, and
oh man,
he's supposed to do it in December.
Look, just handle that with tact because we've already seen what Mayhew's responses lately have been. So,
oh, Mike, thank you.
Different show. We'll save that for a different show because we have already one debacle going on. We don't need a second one going on right now because that one was overlooked. The CG,
he's happy. Yeah, he's happy about the C2E2 thing.
Shit. Yeah, I said some shit. It's online, but I'm glad. Yeah, go ahead and focus on that over there because. Whoops.
I mean, to be fair, like the times I've met Mike May, he's been really cool. So, you know, it must have been a bad day. You know?
$100.
Oh man, this is really crazy. This definitely turned the community up or upside down. You know, we got an insight from Nelson, which I'm hoping does calm a lot of the emotions around this, because there's a lot of people who are genuinely upset about not getting it. There's people genuinely upset about the response and genuinely upset about how other people were able to get it. So Nelson giving us information from the inside, what he sees, you know, definitely helps calm the nerves. And Nelson, I appreciate you coming on the show and letting us know this, man. This was really good.
Good to be here. Good to be here. I've always loved being, talking to you.
No, we love talking to you, Nelson. You're a 10 to us also. You're a Jim 10 to us as well.
Nelson, as our guest, what are do you have any final closing remarks regarding everything that happened, or have you said your piece?
Well, I think this is this just changed. I'd say this is a game changer when it comes to exclusive. Not only did I know people are thinking not so good about Black Flag, but I think they opened the floodgates for retailers to be able to lack of the better term, recycle an old exclusive, make it new again. Not in a way that it's brand new, but new. It depends on the collector. I would say this though. Collectors can get mad, they may hate it, they might love it, but at the end of the day, if you like it as a collector, you buy it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. If you don't like the seller, do not support them. If you hate the influencers, don't support them. But they do what they do. They do that for a living. Most of them don't have a job, so that's what that's what they do for a living, and they do what it takes. They will hustle. At the end of the day, I think the community got together, which is really great. Even though for the most part it was a pitchfork hunting, several different people. But great that I'm gonna look at YouTube. Everything is all about C2E2 debacle and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, the community got together at least.
One thing I will have to say about like the influencers and all that, I get it. You're hustling because you gotta feed your family and all that stuff. But like I said, don't get defensive. Think take a step back. I know I've said this twice, 3 times already, but whenever you don't make emotional responses, think things through. Get a clear head, because when you respond emotionally, it's never good. Almost never good, at least.
Yep.
I have spoken.
And one more thing before before you cut me loose.
Yes, man. Of course.
All right. Well, Big Time Collectibles will be releasing a Superman Death of Superman 30th anniversary gold foil exclusive, partner with certified guaranteed company CGC. It will be limited to 300, numbered on the label.
Wow.
300. It's gold foil super Death of Superman 30th anniversary.
Oh,
And of course,
Nelson,
we don't.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
nice.
Yeah, we are anticipating customers that will be mad because 300 will not be enough. So we are also doing Superman 30th anniversary silver foil exclusive, which is not going to be CGC. It'll be raw. It'll be sold as a raw. That way, people that won't be able to purchase or not have enough fund to buy the limited to 300 will be able to buy the silver, which is going to be I would say limited to 1,000 copies. None of them will be acetate, by the way.
Do you have any photos to share of the cover?
Stupid ass red.
Yeah, breaking news on this show.
Do you have a photo to show us, or can you?
It was it's on IG. I saw it. It's on the social media.
Let me see here. I don't think I'd be able. How do I show it here? It's on Instagram.
Is it on
Okay.
Instagram?
So everyone go to Big Time Collectibles Instagram.
Yeah, we'll post it up.
I mean that's just a mock-up. That's not the actual thing, but it's gonna be similar to it.
Yeah.
Which one? The one with the bleeding S on a metal cover?
Yeah, it's not gonna be metal though, guys. It's foil. It's silver and gold.
Here, hold on. I think I
It's
got
not the same foil we use to cover lumpia with, right?
it. Is it this one, Nelson?
Yes.
Ah, but it's gonna be a foil instead. Look at that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the next one is gold.
Yeah. The next.
Oh wow,
Maganda.
maganda. Ayun, maganda. Wow, dude, those are gonna be awesome, dude.
That is really cool.
Those are gonna be awesome, Nelson.
How people will love that one.
Yeah. Well, thank you again for joining the show, man. We want to have you back. What's the next con that people could see you at?
We were planning on going to NYCC, but we have not gotten any respond with our booth request yet. So maybe not, but it's tentative on New York Comic Con. But definitely will be at Cowtown in Dallas.
Okay.
Oh,
Do you have the date for that?
Cowtown is last weekend of October.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Nico will be there with us, and maybe John Jang.
Oh, nice,
Oh.
nice.
So Nelson, just no pressure on this one. I don't know how it goes with retailers and coming to cons. Any thoughts about possibly joining the Fan Expo con circuit and maybe visiting one in San Francisco that should be coming up in November? Just wondering.
Thanksgiving weekend. You can't do that, man.
I mean, look, closed mouth don't get fed. I'm gonna ask because I just kind of want to know, But yeah, San Francisco Fan Expo, November.
Wow.
Are we gonna get a presence from BTC, or we're not sure, or you don't know?
Wow, I didn't even know that there's a San Francisco Fan Expo.
In November.
Brand new.
Wow.
So
Make-
everyone in the Bay Area, like I put the bug in Nelson's head. So if BTC is there, it's because of this show.
If if not this year, we'll definitely go next year. And I'll if I go there, I'm gonna make sure the C-list villains will be in the booth.
Oh, nice.
We'll take you to get some good Filipino food too. We'll take you to the good spots. Is better than Goldilocks. There's no Goldilocks. Forget Goldilocks. We got you over here with Filipino food, dude.
Do you really? Okay. I mean, why would you? No offense, but why would you show a Filipino around to other Filipino restaurants?
Well, you know what? Because it might be different. Daly City definitely has different Filipino food than down in LA. That's for sure.
I love going to Filipino restaurants.
See, that's why. Because he loves going to Filipino restaurants.
There you go. I stand corrected.
We got to take him to Gateway Kitchen. That's the spot. different time. Look, Rob. Filipino food kicks butt.
That's coming from Australia.
Oh, dude, he probably has some really good Filipino food over there, just because it's closer to them.
All right, guys. Oh, Nelson, were you gonna say something?
No, I would say we got some relatives at San Jose, California, so it's not too far from the Bay.
Oh, nice.
San Jose is like half an hour from where I'm at. Let's. Hey, Nelson, you come down to San Jose one of these days? Let me know.
I will.
Take you to a Vietnamese restaurant.
There you go.
I like.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys all next week. Hopefully, there'll be more debacles that we could gossip about, right?
That'll be good. Everyone's YouTube channel blew up because of this debacle, so please bring more.
Can I make a request? Like,
Go.
anybody who's willing to park with their acetate cover, I'll pay them $20 just for that acetate part. That way I can
You're just gonna start plastering it on everything else.
hit me up.
All right, hit up Red, guys. All right, we'll see you guys all next week. Peace out.
Peace.
Thanks again for listening to another episode of the C-List Villains Podcast, your cultivators of the comic culture. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and email us at clistvillains@gmail.com. You can also leave us a voicemail or text us at 209-975-7597. Be sure to join Luke Week's Facebook group, Rare Keys and First Appearance Comics. And you can follow us on our 2 Instagram accounts, C-List Villains and C-List Villains Podcast. Lastly, follow the villains on their separate IG accounts, at Luke Weeks, at C-List Villainous Red, at C-List E-Man, and I am at AJ the Comic Collector. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you all next episode.